welcome or welcome back if this is your first time here. My name is Melissa. Channel here is Melissa_Dutton6. I like to play with makeup, do my makeup, talk about new makeup. So if that interests you, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, like, share, leave me some comments. That would be fantastic. So in a previous video, I think I mentioned I wasn't buying too much makeup. There wasn't honestly a lot of things coming out that were catching my interest until Miss Rihanna put out the Eavesdrop Stick Foundation. And foundation has to be my favorite part of doing my makeup. I love eyeshadow, but there's just something about, especially because I suffer from acne and I've got like redness around my nose and cheeks, like just being able to conceal that just, I don't know, makes me feel good. So foundation is always my favorite part of doing makeup. So I was like, I'm picking that up. And while I picked this up, let me see what else Sephora has. So I went ahead and picked up a few more items, and I'm going to go ahead and use them in the look for today. First product I'm going to go in with is the Kosas Brow Pop Nano Ultra Fine Detailing Pencil, and I got it in the shade medium brown. So this pencil differs from the one they previously had in the shape. Oh, and the packaging is different too. This one's like more metallic, slimmer, cute. It's got a spoolie on the end. But this one is supposed to be like super small and fine, so you can do more of those like hair-like strokes. Whereas the original brow pencil they came out with has more of a triangular shape. And I do really enjoy this pencil. I've gone through one, and this is my second one. I don't love this color though. They didn't have my color in store, so I picked up the lighter shade. It's a bit orange for my liking, but I do like it. I like the shape. I like what it does for my brows. So let me see what I think about this new pencil they released. So I zoomed you a little bit in so you could actually see me do my brows. My only fear with this sort of pencil is it's so small. Like, will it break a lot? And I tend to always do my eyebrows first. I don't know why. It's just the way I like to do my makeup. Let's see. I already can tell you this color is a way better match for me than the other one I have. Let's see. So it's supposed to draw in just like hair, like strokes. I think it's doing a very good job at that. I will say it is very tiny, which is fine. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's marketed as. So filling in your whole brow with this will take probably forever. So I may use like a mixture of both of the pencils. Go ahead and brush out the product. Oh, I like that a lot. I don't do my eyebrows too often these days. I am a child of the 90s, so I used to wax and pluck religiously. So I try to leave my eyebrows alone these days, so they're not as sparse as they used to be. But I like this. It does a good job just filling in the gaps. It's almost undetectable in eyebrow, which is what I like. I don't like the block brow sort of look at this time. So thumbs up on this product. So the reason I decided to pick this up was because I do love this, I guess it's a skin tint so much. I'm actually almost out of it. It's one of the most like natural looking, but gives you like the tiniest bit of coverage. Not overly dewy. Really nice skin tint. So I was like, ooh, I want that. the name of the new one is, what is this called? The Eavesdrop Stick Blur Smooth Tint Stick Foundation. The claims are, let me find those. A light coverage long wear tint stick with a creamy smooth texture that instantly blurs while melting into skin for a natural finish. Coverage is light to medium. Finish is natural. Formulation cream. This crease-proof formula delivers a blurred, smooth second skin finish that resists fading and transferring. Easy to use, the stick helps with all-day hydration and contains color to pigment that resists oxidation, plus 100% recyclable. That's cool. So, since it has a natural finish, I didn't pick up a new primer. I think I'm going to go in with this one that I know and love, the MAC Studio Radiance primer. It is more moisturizing. So, let's go ahead and do that. Oh, the packaging is super cute. It's like a white plastic, I'm assuming. And it's got like this rose gold design and the brand. Very cute. I got mine in a shade 2. They do have like a chart, so if you have worn Fenty foundations, they give you suggestions on which ones would work best. Let me see. Let me swatch out this one compared to the original Blur. Alright, so they're both in the shade 2. This is the stick, and this is the liquid. So the stick, I can feel it. I see what they're saying about the blurry. It has like a powdery texture, if that makes sense. Whereas the liquid feels like a liquid. And I feel like the liquid is a little bit more neutral leaning, whereas the stick, on my hand at least, looks a little more peachy. And again, they're both shade 2. So let's see how this one looks on the skin. You know what I just remembered? I washed all my makeup brushes last night. Well, almost all of them. And half of them are still damp. So let's see how we're going to make this work. Just start off with that. Let's do one side, see what that's like. I think it's a really nice color match for me. Okay, so it's definitely light coverage. Some of my redness is still peeking through. The acne is still peeking through. But honestly, looks like undetectable on the skin. So let me go ahead and do the other side. So this is one layer all over the skin. I think it looks super pretty. You can still see like luminosity, so it's not a matte formula, but it's not like overly shiny, so it's not dewy. So definitely a natural finish. It does cover up majority of my redness and sort of evens out my skin, but the acne is still shining through, which honestly, it's hard to cover. So let me try to add another layer to see if it'll look cakey, especially around the areas I have more acne. And my nose, which foundation always gets weird on my nose. Okay, so I've gone ahead and did 2 layers. Again, the acne, you can still see it quite a bit. But I love how this is looking on the skin. It doesn't look cakey around my nose. Normally that's a problem area for me. I think my skin looks good. It still's got some luminosity. Doesn't feel heavy on the skin, which is a major characteristic I look at for in foundations. I don't like foundations that feel heavy. Yeah, I don't think you can get full coverage of this out of this. If you try, it's probably gonna get cakey. And I will note that's why I wanted to go in with a more hydrating primer because my acne is pretty dry. So I do notice it does look a little dry on there, but again, I can't blame the foundation too much because that is just the nature of acne. So definitely gonna try this out a few more before I fully decide if I like it. But as of right now, I do really like it. You can't even see it on the skin. And it covered what I expect a medium to light coverage foundation to cover for me. It does say it's transfer proof, so like let me let it set a little bit and we can do a little patting test. All right, it's been a few minutes, so the foundation has set in. I'm gonna just take like a cotton round and see about that transfer proof claim. Like a very little bit came off, but not too much. But again, I've only had it on a few minutes. I don't know what it's gonna act like when you're like sweating or it's worn in for a while. But as of right now, the claim is spot on. I don't know if I'll be able to use this for all over the face, but this is the Iconic London Radiant Concealer and Brightening Duo. Let's read the claims on this. A dual-ended liquid concealer and brightening crown that illuminates while camouflaging imperfections to achieve a flawless skin finish. Highlighted ingredients: caffeine, sodium hyaluronic, what in the world? Treated Japanese pigments. The brightening crown with subtle, Jesus, can I read? The brightening crown with subtle luminous pearls illuminates the under eye and neutralizes discoloration for a bright, wide awake look. The hard-working, medium to full coverage liquid concealer is perfect for covering blemishes, dark circles, and areas of pigmentation. I got mine in the shade Neutral Fair. So let's try this out. So on one end, you get the corrector, like under eye corrector. That is a stick cream formulation. And on the other end, you get a liquid concealer that has one of the smallest doe foots I've ever seen. I don't even know how that would reach the end of the concealer packaging. I don't color correct under my eyes too often because I find that concealers normally do the job since I don't have too much discoloration. So far the shade is really nice. It reminds me a lot of like that Becca Smashbox corrector, the shade. I'm just going to take a small brush and blend that out. I don't know if it did too much for color correcting, but it did brighten. And the reason I don't like to put too many concealers under the eyes, because I do have fine lines. I don't have any filler or anything, so. I did brighten them quite a bit. And on the other end is the liquid concealer. I wasn't sure what color to get. I got fair neutral because the swatches looked pretty dark for me in the light range, but now I'm not sure. It's looking pretty light. And I'm gonna take this smaller blending brush to blend that out. I need to buy some sponges. All my sponges are in pretty bad condition, so I gotta throw them away. blending out well. Didn't like dry while I let it sit. So I thought I was liking it until I kept blending. I don't know if it is the primer or foundation, but the concealer is not liking one of them, and I'm already seeing like some separation and like gathering of product. So I'm gonna say skip this product, at least upon my first impression. Yeah, it's like I don't like how it looks at all, and I don't think it did that great a job at color correcting. I don't have a new powder, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my one size setting powder in translucent. This is a mini size that I've been trying to get through. It's lasted me a very long time because I don't really powder my whole face. I do like under the eyes, around my nose, basically the T-zone. And my acne, I just do like a quick brushing so the product can actually stay on there. So I went ahead and did the rest of my face off camera since I don't have new products for everything. For bronzer, I went in with the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder in 01 Natural. Milani's Romantic Rose Blush. What else did I use? Rare Beauties Highlighter and Enlighten. And this setting spray from Wet n Wild called Fight Dirty. I don't know what it does, but I bought it. So I got this package today and I was like, oh, that's exciting because it was actually supposed to come tomorrow. So I went ahead and did a cute little 15-minute Sephora haul short video. Tell me how I almost threw away this product. I didn't even see it in the box. Everything else was just out of its packaging, but this one had its own box within a box. It's the Natasha Denona, what is this? Mini Starlit palette. So I almost threw about $30 in the trash, and I would have been very upset. So the palette is described as having rosy taupe shades. So let me go ahead and do some finger swatches for you. Okay, so this one is Nude Mauve. Galaxia. I hope I'm reading these in the right direction. I'm always confused. Vega. Rhea. I, I think I read them in the wrong way. That one's got like micro sparkles. And per se. These are a little similar, different undertones. So I probably would have preferred an even lighter shade, but that's fine. I have a million eyeshadows I can pull in because, yeah. I want to try my best to use all the shadows. I'm first going to go in with that center shade. And apply that in the crease and above the crease, just slightly below my eyebrow. That looks very like peachy. One thing I will note about Natasha Denona, do never believe what you see with your eyes. 99% of the time, the shadows always look different on the eye. Like this one looks very light, and look how it looks on the eye. I'm gonna now take this shade and also going in the crease, but not bringing it as high this time. And I always like to pack my shadows down first and then blend. I'm not seeing much fallout, which is great because I normally do my eyeshadow first, so I don't know why I did it differently today, but okay. I thought this was going to be a lot more like pinky and romantic, and that is not what's happening. Not that that's a bad thing, but yeah. So I wanted to use every shade, but I think I'm not going to use this one. I think I like the depth of that. I don't want it to be like too dark. Now I'm going to take this more metallic-y shade here and apply that on the lid. And I'm going to actually run the shade on the lower lash line as well. And I'm going to go ahead with the sparkly shade and try to really pack that on. This one's more crumbly and messy than the other shades were. So you may want to wet it if you don't want to make a mess. Oh yeah, that's pretty. So I'm just going to leave the eyes here. Shadows performed beautifully. So if you're like used to Natasha Denona's formulas, I don't think you'd regret this. My only thing is, I don't know why I thought this was going to be pinkier. Because it's definitely not. It's definitely more peachy, more orange. I don't see the rosy taupes that they're talking about. I guess in the browns, okay. But no complaints. It's just the color story isn't what I thought it was going to be. But performed beautifully. Creates a cohesive eye look. No complaints other than not what I was expecting. So I probably have stated this a million times in some of my other videos, but I just don't spend a lot of money on mascaras because look, where are my eyelashes? Nowhere, that's where. But this was free, so I added it to my order. This is Benefit Fan Fast Fanning and Volumizing Mascara. So I figured, why not? Let's try it out, see what it's like. Okay, so I went ahead and curled my lashes because that is so uncomfortable to do on camera or watch someone do. um, that is what the wand looks like. It's like got a slight curve. They look like natural bristles. They're pretty short bristles. It's not a waterproof formula, so let's see how it holds a curl because I have pretty straight lashes. So you can already see that the mascara is pretty heavy on my lashes. because it's not waterproof, it won't really hold it. But once again, it's fine. It's a mascara. It'll do the job. So I did 2 coats of the mascara. It's a mascara. Would I purchase this? No. And I curled them and they're like, bloop. So no, this is not for me. They look fine, but no. And the last product I picked up is from Give Beauty. This is the Spark the Fire Plumping Lip Balm in the shade LUV Love. I don't really buy too many plumping lip products because my lips are decent. They are not symmetrical, but size-wise, I'm fine with what I have. Okay, that's what that looks like. And I purchased this thinking, again, the eye look was going to be a little bit more pink. So we'll see. I should have purchased another shade, but it's fine. It smells pretty good. Like, it's kind of sweet. I definitely feel like the tingle already. Because it's a balm, you can't really see it. It's not super pigmented. Jesus Christ, what is on my lip? So it's definitely, I definitely feel the tingle. It feels like, you know, the gum Big Red, like if you were to rub that on your lips. But let me add a lip liner because I feel like this is a little washed out for the rest of my face. So I went ahead and added this lip liner from LA Girl in the shade Bare, just a little bit, because while it's a balm and doesn't have a lot of pigment, it did wash out my lips a little bit, so be mindful of that. If you're even deeper than me, that shade may not be for you. This tingling sensation, I still feel it a little bit, but it's not unbearable. I do have a higher pain tolerance. So, yeah, I don't think it's bad at all. I went ahead and added on some lashes too because I just thought my lashes looked kind of sad with the mascara. Okay, and this is the completed look. I really like how this turned out. I like everything, but that concealer combo, I'm gonna have to play with that a bit more. I don't know if it just wasn't interacting well with the other products I have. It doesn't look bad now, but I can still see like darkness under the eye. So as for color correcting, I don't know if I did much. The eyeshadow palette, I think it looks beautiful. Just not the color story I had in mind, but that is my bad. The lip is fine for a plumping lip balm. Probably would not repurchase something like this. I prefer the Patrick Ta's like plumping lip glosses. I love those. This foundation I love. It's worn in more, so you can definitely see it's got more of a glow. Definitely natural finish. If you are oily, you're probably gonna have to powder a bit more. As for the transfer proof claims, I can see it a little bit on my face, on my hands, but that's fine. I don't think any foundation is really that transfer proof, but okay. But yeah, I love everything but that concealer. Again, these are just first impressions. My mind can change after I use these things a few times more, but I will leave everything I used today listed down below. So if there's a little asterisk and you shop to that link, I'd make a small commission. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can just shop from the retailer directly. Again, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy lives to watch me play with makeup. Really appreciate it. If you like what you see and you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe, like, share, leave me some comments. Have you guys played with any of these products? Are there any new products that are interesting to you? I'd love to, again, build a community here on YouTube and interact with some of you a bit more. So, again, have a great day. Take care.